My name is Rocket Sledge, and today I'm here to share a unique experiment. In this video, we're going to see what a newer player looks like in 2020 versus a newer player in 2015. And I've done it in a way that allows you to play along. Yes, this is Guess the Year. Now, I've been playing since launch and have a few replays that go back to 2015. Today we're going to focus on one from September of that year. By this time, Rocket League had been out for about 2 months, and the official ranked Season 1 had started the week before. Now, there's no way I can compare my rank at that time with the ranks we have now, but I'd expect myself and the players in this game to have anywhere from 100 to 150 hours. So here's a picture from my 2015 match, and here's a picture of similar hour players in 2020 with the same cars. So this is where the experiment gets a little complicated, but let me tell you how I did this, and then you'll get your chance to try and spot the differences. So first of all, I scoured numerous Discords looking for legitimate new Rocket League players. Eventually, I got 6 that ranged from 85 to 160 hours of playtime, and they represented every platform. Then I went into my 2015 replay and figured out the setup for each car in the game. Now, back then, we didn't have much to choose from. There was no crates, no painted items, and the only DLC was the Dominus and Takumi package released the month before. Once everyone had their car, I put them on Urban Central for a simulated competitive solo standard game, and had credits on the line for the winners. So for this challenge, I'm going to show you alternating footage that totals about 3.5 minutes from each game. Joining me will be 3 Rocket League coaches, Hoodyhooo, Goldfish, and MooseTDI. They're going to be commenting on what they see, but they're going to hold back their vote until the end. Alright, so I've labeled these 2 games, Game 1 and Game 2, and then you're going to see the players are anonymous. Game 1 has all bot names, and when we get to Game 2, you're going to see that it's just Player 1, Player 2, and so on. One of these is 2015, one of these is 2020. What do you think is going to be different ahead of time? What are you looking for?
I really have no idea.
Junker come out hot right there, so we're going to have to take note of that.
Iceman's already impressed me. He's already out here with some fire post rotation with 100 hours in.
I feel like play has moved on a bit since the early days of Rocket League.
For sure, yeah.
So things that I'm going to be looking for are things just simple things like recoveries and people using boost a bit more and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's definitely like it's a fun challenge. I like this.
So did you say this is a couple hundred hours? Is that what this was?
The average was probably 100, 120 across the 6 players.
Okay.
And so because I was comparing this to a game that I played 2 months after release, I kind of figured that was a good measure of the kind of hours people would have.
The demo, that must have been you, right?
That's the most Rocket Sledge thing I have ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah, see, I'm in here somewhere, but don't expect that I just ran around demoing people, so maybe don't get fooled by that. Post stopping shots since 2015, man.
Yeah. The post is unwavering.
Yeah. When are they going to nerf post? Okay, we're back to Game 1. So when it comes to ranking the 2020 players, I couldn't compare them to year 1, right?
Yes, that's right.
But when you're 100 hours into Rocket League, it's so like volatile. There's a lot of reasons for what rank you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could have a high level friend that's carrying you.
Mm-hmm.
You could have a high level friend that's coaching you. You could be, like I said, only playing Rumble or something. So when it comes to ranks in the 2020 game, it actually is everything from Bronze 3 to Plat 1.
It's cool though because I've already and I'm gonna keep this until the end, but I've already spotted a couple of things that have. Well, like one of them has made it. It feels like it's made it obvious to me which one is which, but then the other one is kind of like one of them is kind of throwing me off. You know what I mean? So it's like they're fighting against each other. It's like I've seen one thing in one game and one thing in another that both makes me feel like they're recent, but then like they're not in the same game. So I'm kind of confused about that. But
yeah, it comes down to some smaller elements, I think, which is the surprising thing. Even for me, when I went back to like compare these, I thought it was gonna be so obvious. I'm like, it might not even bother like making it a video. It's only a few small things, but it's still an interesting experiment. And you can't base it on whiffs though, because there's whiffs in 2020 just like 2015.
No, that's not what I'm basing it off. I've seen something immediately that kind of stands out to me. I've seen two things, but then the one's in game 1 and one's in game 2, and I'm like, that's both modern things, and it has me kind of confused.
I have a rough idea of which one I think, but it's so marginal that...
Can't wait to be actually getting pranked, and they're both 2020 games.
I started playing in Season 1, but I didn't actually play Ranked in Season 1 because I thought that Ranked was for the professionals. So I only ever played Casual, and then
That's funny.
It was only Season 2 that I started playing Ranked.
Yeah, see, this is 1 week into Season 1. So this is what those professionals were doing that you missed out on. I think it's kind of fun to look at everybody with their toppers and their antennas, like the cars we were playing with back then.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like nobody, you like now we're higher levels and stuff. You never see anybody using toppers and whatnot. But yeah, back then that was everything. Toppers, antennas, and wacky colors and wheels that didn't match your car.
Oh yeah.
To be honest with you, actually, I've seen cars exactly like this, if not worse, in low GC.
Oh really?
I'm not even joking. Like, because it's the teammate you don't want to get because he doesn't flip on kickoff, and you're like, oh my god, why are you here? Like, me and my friend have this running joke where it's literally like, have you seen this guy's car? We've literally lost.
I mean, maybe some people are just trying to have fun, all right?
I mean, yeah. I don't think I was ever a toppers guy either. They always just distracted me. I think I used to use the traffic one, to be honest.
I always like the smaller ones, like the Mohawk.
I'm gonna kind of rank base this around maybe silver, like somewhere between silver and kind of maybe gold 2, like it just as the general average of the lobby. Silver 3 and gold 2, and like it's maybe I might be wrong. It could be lower, it could be higher, but there's definitely some things in both of these games that I'm seeing that are standing, and one of them's actually like impressed me. So there's 2 things I'll mention afterwards. Like it's cool to see this. You know what I mean? Like this is interesting.
The own goal there.
Yeah.
I hate to see it. See Shepard there with a nice drift turn. I have to say, I really don't think I have much progress made.
You're gonna bank on those 50-50 odds.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be our last clip from game 1.
Okay. you know, we look at this and it looks, pretty rough. But I feel like this is the phase when everybody enjoys Rocket League the most.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Because everything is just fun. When you whiff or on goal to lose the game, it's at this point you can just laugh at it. The triple commit. Okay, they're confirming the strat.
Yeah, it's working. All right, so this is the last clip from game 2.
I'm not doubting myself as to whether I think players are better now than they were back then.
All right, now it's time for you guys to vote. Which one is the 2015 game, and which one is 2020? Click the right-hand corner of the screen to make your guess, and then we'll hear what the coaches have to say. All right, so I'm only going to let you guys see this once, and now you got to make your guess. Game 1 or Game 2? Which one do you think was from 2015?
I'm kind of left with the guess here because I think the speed of play in Game 2 was a little bit quicker. I saw some things as far as aerials, as far as that goes, that makes me think maybe that's today's game. I'm going to say I think Game 1 is from 2015.
Okay, well, I think Game 1 was 2015. I think the 2020 footage just felt that little bit smoother. So like just the way that the players were moving around the field, they were landing on their wheels a lot more, as opposed to on the other one where they were landing on their heads and stuff like that.
I definitely think that Game 1 is the 2021. Like game 2 threw me off with one of the players going for a flick, and he got 2 of them, and I think he actually scored off of one of them. But I definitely feel like Game 1 is 2020, just solely based off of looking at the positioning of the players. In Game 1, everyone was spaced out a lot better. in game 2, everyone is literally on top of each other. And while that's still a common thing, it's not as bad as what it seemed to be there.
All right, it's time for the reveal. The 2015 solo standard match was game number 1, and I was the Octane Junker.
Yes! Nice.
Phew.
I got it backwards. No, like that kind of puts me off there, because like, you know, faster rated gameplay. So basically, what this video is proving is that we're slowly like evolving backwards. We're getting worse.
I don't know. Yeah, it could say something about that. Like, you're right. The spacing is. I didn't really notice this at first, but there is definitely some decent spacing, and no one was teaching that.
Yeah, that's what really got me. Like look at the spacing. Look at the spacing. Like, look at Raja here. He's literally rotating back and then cutting back in. Now, granted, he doesn't do a very good job because he can hit the ball, but then Shepard cuts back. That's very, very good for that rank. That's what made me think this is definitely 2020, because you've got all these like amazing people out there. You've got like Verge, you've got Waiton, you've got like even Sunless and Flump, and they're making these informative videos when they weren't back then.
Mm-hmm.
So these people are making the Rocket League community worse. Analysis of this.
That's it.
That's a joke. Okay, that's definitely but it is very, very weird to see this. Like, everyone in 2015, it looks like they know what they're doing. Like, they're not doing it well, but it looks like they know what they're doing, and people in 2020 don't have a clue, and that's what made it backwards for me.
All right, well, it definitely was an interesting experiment, and I don't think anyone could hold it against Moose for getting it wrong. Big thanks to my 2020 game participants, and of course, Hoodyhooo, Goldfish, and Moose. If you're interested in some paid coaching or want to check out Hoodyhooo and Goldfish's content, please check the links in the description. If you want to learn more about the early days of Rocket League, check out my Year 1 documentary I have linked in the end screens. As always, I appreciate if you'd subscribe, like, and share with your friends. My name is Rocket Sledge. Thanks for watching.